Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Marjorie and let's get started. So for the first DIY, I'm using one of these fall signs, or it's the 3 signs, and I'm just taking that and some felt. I'm actually going to be using 2 of the signs, so it's going to be 4 pieces in total. But all I do is cut down some of the felt to put over the back, well, what is the front side, but it's going to be the back side of the sign. And I just don't want any of that glitter coming off or anything like that, so I just wanted to cover it up. And I'm basically just going to trim it all down to where you can't see the any of the green felt from the front. So once I have all that prepped, I'm going to use some Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm just going to give the front side a good, really thick coat of the paint on all 4. So once I have everything painted, I'm taking some stencils that I had got. I can't remember where I got these stencils from. I want to say maybe Walmart. I've had them for quite some time. But anyways, I'm just using my pencil and outlining the letters. That way I can go back in and use a paintbrush marker to fill in the letters. It makes it a lot easier to do on here. Plus these stencils, they have like a break in between certain parts of the letter, and I don't want that, so I'll go back in when I'm using my paintbrush and make it all connect. Now you'll see here, for whatever reason, I don't know why I did it, but as I'm using my L, I actually had turned the wood piece the wrong way and didn't notice it, but you'll see at the end where I fixed it. So now I'm just going to take a paint marker in black and go around all the edges of each one of the signs, just to give it a little extra look. I do try to keep this sign pretty simple, and so I thought the black outline of the frame would give it a little extra touch. So I have these cute little mini grapevine wreaths. I had bought them at Hobby Lobby a few years ago when it was like 75 or 90% off. So they were really inexpensive. They still carry them. I just love them for these small signs. And I'm just going to take some of this ribbon from Hobby Lobby as well and make just a little small bow to add onto the wreath. And then I'll hot glue the wreath onto the little sign. So here I'm just measuring out, I believe it's probably about 4 or 5 inches of the ribbon, and this is what I'm going to use to attach the sign to each other. So the last piece I'll cut a little longer because I'm going to use that as the hanger. So here I'm taking and trying to measure out and find a good place to put good spacing in between the signs, and then what I'll do is I'll just go back in and hot glue that together, and then I'll go back in and also hot glue the sign holder to the top of the end plaque. So on to the second project. You will see the finished projects at the very end. But for the second DIY, I have this love sign from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just pulling off the little cord, the hanging cord, and all the staples that they use to put it in. And I don't bother to go in and try to fill the holes or anything. So I got some other things that I plan to do to kind of mask that. But I take this Imperial Red by, I believe it's Faux art, and I absolutely love this color. It is just so gorgeous. It is just a tad bit of a little deeper red, not too much, but if you don't like that really extra bright red, this is a really good color to use, and I actually only needed one coat. So here I have this snowflake I've had for several years, and I'm going to reuse it, and I'm just going to place it on the sign just to kind of help me space out my stencils. So I do have the stencils for the J and the Y, and yes, it looks a little bit backwards, but I'm sorry, that's just the way of my camera angle when I'm recording. But again, as I did with my last stencil, I go in with my pencil, and then I will go back in and use some white paint to paint in the letters. So here I'm just pencil drawing some squiggly lines on here, and then I will go back in and use that black paint marker I used earlier and fill in those lines. And then off camera, because I think everybody has seen a billion and one videos on how to make pom-poms, I did make about 4 small pom-poms that I am going to be using to attach on the board. So here I'm just going to arrange a couple and get those attached. And I will say that I do go back on the lettering and I do the outline of the letters with that black marker, and you'll see it really made it look really nice. I like it a lot better than had I not put it on there. So sorry about that. We're on to the third DIY, but there was more to the second one. I thought I was filming and I wasn't, so my apologies, guys. So here I've got one of those Dollar Tree crates, and I'm going to paint all of the sides with the Waverly White chalk paint. And no, I'm not going to make you suffer and watch me paint all of it. I'll be done with that in just a second. But I do give it just one good coat of paint. And here I took out, you see 3, well, okay. I paint 3 of these beads that I got in a multi-pack from Walmart about a year ago. I paint those white, and then the other 3 I'll paint with that sage green that's also sitting on top of my workspace. So then I have these stickers in black and green. These are from the Dollar Tree, and I go ahead and I take the green ones and I spell out the word Mary, and I just go ahead and paint those with the same sage color green, so I can add to the crate, which I'm sure you could tell by now that I am making a stack of faux books. So here I've got this, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. I know it's not cardstock. Scrapbooking paper. And this actually came out of a Christmas scrapbooking paper packet. But I really like it. It's really pretty. I love plaid. But I cut it out just so I could take and Mod Podge it to the top of my little crate. Now I got this Mod Podge from I'm drawing a blank, guys. I don't know, it's Sunday. Plaid had sent it to me in a box, and I really like the Mod Podge. But I put a good even coat on there. I don't put too much, and then I just add my little scrapbooking paper on top and flatten it down, trying to get all the excess glue out the sides. I had this little scraper. It was from something else that somebody had gave me, and I don't know what it was for, but it's perfect for this flattening down the paper products with the Mod Podge. But anyways, take my little cute little lady tweezers, and I start to put the other letterings onto the crate, and I'll let you watch that. So now I'm taking some of this jute cord. I got it from Michael's several years ago, and I've actually have not used it. It's got a little, it was, I want to say it was either some fall or Christmas twine that they had. It got on sale for like 90% off. It's pretty cheap, but it's got like a little thread of gold that runs through it, so that's why it kind of looks a little shiny. But I just take some of the beads and I string them on to one end and tie a knot, and I'm going to wrap it around the books, and then I will take the other 3 beads and attach it to the end that I'll cut off here in just a bit. So now on to my next DIY. I've got this wood round from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using some of that same plaid paper, and I'm just gonna cut out a square piece. That way I can Mod Podge it to the top of the round circle. I'll also paint one side and the edges of the circle white, and then I have those little beads that I got from Hobby Lobby when they first put out the Christmas stuff, and I'm gonna paint those white as well. So for my next project, I am taking some scrapbook paper and some picture frames, so I'm just tracing out the glass, and then I'll cut those out, and I will be using some window clings and adding those to the glass. So that's pretty much it for those projects. You'll see those at the very end as well. So this next project, I love how it turned out, guys. I'm using a couple of these wood boxes from the Dollar Tree. One of the wood boxes I used this small insert box for something else, so but that's fine because I don't need it. And then I'm using a couple of these blocks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up painting everything in the white chalk paint in Waverly, from Waverly. And then I will stack them and glue them all together. And what we're making is a tall candle holder. So I had this little wreath window cling that I had, and I just kind of cut it and trimmed it just a hair so it would fit onto this bottom portion of the candle holder, and I'm just going to Mod Podge it right on there. So as I was gluing these on, there, as you saw, there was some imperfections on the block, and there was like a pretty deep line, and so I just made sure that those were facing towards the back. And then over there on the left is going to be the top piece, and the part where the blocks meet, that is actually going to be the part that glues to the other blocks. And then I just took some of this buffalo check and kind of wrapped around where the two smaller wood blocks met, just to kind of hide the crease. And now I'm taking this Dollar Tree candle holder and adding some of that same buffalo check ribbon to it, just gluing it on there, and then I am going to add a cute little bow to that as well. So here we are with the finished products. I think they turned out gorgeous. I love that little round footed candle holder, and this tall candle holder as well. Now I just put some faux snow in there and a little faux votive candle. I typically don't like to use the real candles, but I like the battery operated ones. And here's that Noel sign. It turned out beautifully. I do want to say that I appreciate you guys coming by and watching the video. I hope you liked everything you saw, and I will see you in the next one.